Who takes care of the woman who takes care of everybody? Real talk, real growth, real purpose. Hey, welcome back to Steph's Signature Corner, where we have real conversations about life, growth, faith, family, relationships, and becoming the best version of ourselves. And today, I want to ask you a question. Who takes care of the woman who takes care of everybody else? Or who takes care of the man who takes care of everybody else? But I'm going to be speaking from a woman's perspective. Whew, I'm not going to lie, I sat with that question for a minute because being anything like me, you're probably the person people call when they need something. At work, you're trying to figure it out. At home, you're making sure things are taken care of. In your family, you're checking on everybody. In your relationships, you're thinking about everybody else's needs. And then you have your own dreams, your own goals, responsibilities, emotions, bills, and plans. Shoot, your own life. And somehow, somewhere in between all of that, you're supposed to, I don't know, make sure you're okay too. But what happens when you're tired? And I'm not talking about you need to go to sleep, bed tired. I'm talking about the deep kind of tired, the kind where you don't necessarily want to quit your life. You don't want to walk away from everybody. You don't even necessarily want to fix something or somebody to fix everything. You don't want to even necessarily want somebody to fix everything. You just want somebody to look at you and say, I got it. You don't have to handle this one. It's okay. I'll take care of it. And actually know that it's going to get taken care of. And that's what we're talking about today because I don't think we talk enough about it. Ugh, what it feels like to be a woman everybody depends on while quietly wondering, who the hell can you depend on? I've been thinking about this. Like, when did I become the woman everybody expects to have it together? Because I don't remember filling out no doggone application for this position. But somehow, some way, I got the job. And apparently, I've been promoted several times without even filling out an application for a promotion. The dependable one, the responsible one, sometimes. The one who will figure it out, because I do. The one people call because guess what? Steph will know what to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a part of me that loves being dependable. I like knowing that people I love trust me. I like being capable of doing things. I like knowing that when something needs to happen, I can make it happen. But here's what I'm learning behind that: being capable and having capacity are two totally different things. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I have the emotional capacity to keep doing everything. And sometimes we don't realize how much we're carrying because carrying became normal. Just want to take a moment and think about it for a minute. Like, think about your own life. Like, seriously think about your own life. And I want you to think about, when did you first notice people depended heavily on you? Before I got married, I remember always being the person that others depended on or that would reach out to me and ask me, like, for things, for help. I remember vividly, I was with my ex, and we were together probably, like, a good 10 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. And he was an abuser, not gonna lie to you, he was an abuser, but he had money. He worked 2 jobs. One job not so legal, but the other job was very legal, and that other job brought in a lot more money, and with that, I didn't have to work. I didn't work while I was with him. Um, I was abused, yeah, but I mentally, physically, emotionally, there was nothing that I had to worry about. Um, my shopping habit, he supplied, right? The food that I wanted, he was a really good cook, but I cooked as well. But he was one of those country cookers. His mama was country and he was very country. He's still country. It's so funny. But he would cook. He would work his 7 to 3:30, come home. I remember having his work clothes ironed for him and all of the things, like all of the stuff. I just was like, "Ooh, this is what the life is about." And every single time someone needed something, they would call me. And I guess they knew that I would get it from him or I would get it for them and give it to them. And I did. But it just turned into, and I didn't realize that it was like clockwork. Every time somebody needed something, I got it. But I suffered because of what they needed and I got for them because it turned into abuse from this man. It turned into physical abuse, and I'm not gonna lie, I stayed with them. I stayed with them, and that's one of the things that people always are like, "I don't see how a woman can stay with a man, being beat, being abused, all of the things." It's easier. I know people say this, it's easier said than done because you don't realize that you lost who you were and you lost all of these things, and you either rely or relied on this person. And you look at life or you look at your relationship, and as you're looking at that, you feel like, "Hey, there's nobody else that I can be with, or there's nobody else that wants me." And that was the moment for me, and I can go down a rabbit hole with this, but we're not. But that's when I realized that if I can go back, that's when I realized that I became the woman that everybody either depended on, wanted something from, had expectations of. Whew, because that's crazy. That's beyond crazy. Anyway, as I think back to that, it kinda, gives me chills. It makes me uncomfortable, but at the same time, it makes me aware, and being able to tap into that person and what you did is huge. And I also think about, and I want you to think about this too, what role do you carry in friendships, relationships, whatever the case may be? And honestly, I don't think that I have the most money. I know I don't have the most money. I don't have the best house, I don't have the best life, but when you when you love what you have everything that you need, and I'm okay with that, and that's how I walk every day. But the role that I feel like that I carry or carried was the person for everybody. I was the, "Hey, do you have? Hey, can you help? Hey, can you share? Hey, can you gimme, gimme, gimme?" Gimme got shot. And boy, I tell you, I feel like I have been shot. I feel like I have been beat down, abused, battered by friends, family, just everything. And I'm dealing with all of that in the midst of like trying to figure out who I am and where do I go from here. And then even thinking about what does the responsible one look like in your life. And for me, I remember going back to that moment where someone in my family just told me vividly. They were like, "You need to go back to school and get this degree." And I said, "I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to do what you want me to do because I got to live for me. Because if I turn around and do that in my head, do that, get this degree, have this job, who's going to be there to support me through all of the bullshit? Who's going to be there?" Because the late nights, the early mornings, the 9 to 5 that I'm working and going to school and raising my kid at that time, who's gonna be there? Being married at that time, who's going to be there? Everybody talks about, "Oh, I'll be there for you, I'll do these things." But in actuality, when the lights are down and you're at home by yourself, you're by yourself and you're dealing with it by yourself. The responsible one. I had to be the one that had to figure out life. I looked at myself and I was the first one to move away. I first one to graduate from high school. First one to, get my degree in college as well. But that was pressure because at that moment when I was getting ready to I had my son my senior year in high school, and I go back. The very first time I had sex, I got pregnant. Woohoo! Scarred me. Didn't want any more kids because I was like, "What the heck?" But guess what? I had to be responsible. I did. I went out. I finished school, but I went out. I got a factory job, and I worked that factory job, and I will be so transparent. I got on Section 8 to support. I got food stamps. I got what I needed, but then I got off because I was in a different position or a different place in my life. And I swear I thank God for it all because without Him, I wouldn't be where I am today. And everything that I went through put me where I am today. And that's crazy because during that time and during that journey in my life and the situation, the follow-up to that is, do you sometimes automatically take charge before anybody even asks you to? And that is a yes. I found myself jumping in and trying to solve the day. I found myself jumping in and trying to be there for other people. Hell, I jumped in and for my son's kids. I jumped in and I should have truly prayed about it. Truly prayed about it, but that was, like, so quick. It was so quick. It was a quick turnaround. I went from being at the hospital to visiting to, "Hey, I know that if anything happens, my mom will take the kids." And I didn't think twice. I was like, "Yeah, I got it. I'll take care of it." But, girl, no. I turned into that even for my own son, I turned into every time he called or needed something, it was like, "Oh, let me take care of that. Let me do that. Let me do this. Let me support you. Let me do this." My son moved out with was supposed to go to college. He went, first semester, but he dropped out. At the time, him and his baby's mother had their own place. At the time, rent was cheap. I had just, probably been divorced for maybe 2 years, so we sold our condo, and I had got me an apartment, and I stayed in this apartment, and then when my son moved out after, like, him finishing school, having his baby, that was another part. He graduated school during COVID time, and guess what? He was like, "I'm not taking a test, I'm gonna drop out." Yes, "I'll take your test for you. I'll do it so you can have a high school diploma." I wish. I truly, truly wish, but guess what? That was me jumping in and trying to solve the day when I didn't even need to be solving something for somebody else. You don't wanna take your test and graduate from high school? Okay, that's on you. That's not on me. Now you're sitting around here with a high school diploma and don't even know what you wanna do with yourself. Neither here nor there. But even when they were like he dropped out of college and then he went to work or whatever, and I remember every single time him calling, "Hey, we need some help, we need some help." Mind you, I think at the time my rent, was probably like 1,200, maybe 9 to $1,200. I don't really remember. But it was somewhere in there. It was on the cheaper side. It wasn't cheap, but it was cheaper. I had 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, townhome. Loved it. Loved living there. Very big, very spacious. Gated community, the whole 9. And I'm paying my rent, but my son and his baby mama don't have money for their rent, and they asking me for their money. Mind you, they rent was like $900. I think my rent was probably like 1150. It was somewhere in there. Anyway, here I am paying mine, gushing out theirs while I'm paying my car note, all the bills at my house, and still paying spousal support. Yep. But anyway, I found myself automatically taking charge before anybody even really asked me to because I think I put that pressure on myself of being this for everybody else and trying to work through how to help people solve things so that they wouldn't be stressed. Mind you, I bring my butt home and I'm stressed, or I get off the phone and I'm stressed, or I get up and get ready and go to work the next day and I'm stressed. At some point, being strong stopped being something I did and became something people expected me to be. And here's the part that's hard to explain. People see what you do. They don't always see what it takes out of you to do it. There's a whole mental load that comes with being the person who keeps things together. You're remembering stuff, birthdays, whatever. You're planning things, you're anticipating, oh, what's going to be the backlash? How's that going to come back? You're checking, you're looking at bank accounts, whatever, how much money's coming in, going out. You're trying to solve situations. You're thinking about tomorrow while you're still trying to survive for today. And sometimes, woo, you're overwhelmed as hell, but everything is still getting done. So nobody really knows. And that's the crazy part. Sometimes people don't realize when you're drowning because you learn how to drown quietly and still get everything done. And that's the crazy part. To drown quietly, like Diary of a Mad Black Woman, when she threw the man in the tub and he was That was the most quietest drown that I have ever seen in my life. It's like you're paralyzed and you're going under. I really want you to think about that. Some of us have gotten so good at functioning while overwhelmed that people don't recognize when we're struggling because we still show up. We still answer the phone. We still handle work. We still check on everybody else. And when somebody asks, you good? What do we say? Answer it. Answer it. You know what you said. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Knowing good and well you're not good. Like, somebody at work was telling me that, and they were just like, it's really crazy. People be like, "Oh, good morning. How are you?" If you were truly honest with somebody and look them in the face at the elevator and say, "I'm fucked up. I'm tired. My big toe hurts. I'm pissed off. I hate all of this work that's on my plate. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed out." Do you know how those people would look at you? They wouldn't even know how to answer you. They would be dumbfounded and startled because, excuse me? Like, nobody could be able to handle that. Even just thinking about it, the season for me that was just so heavy, and I'm releasing it. It's still heavy, but people probably couldn't tell how heavy it felt. Work, all of the craziness is happening there, and I'm not gonna like go into that. People needing help, support here, there, all of the other stuff at work is happening. I got 2 kids custody of that I'm stressed out about because I'm having to reorganize my whole life. Friends want to hang out. I don't have the time of day because I don't have a babysitter for somebody that doesn't belong to me. Then I have to come home, cook, try to stay in shape and look like I'm not losing myself. Mind you, I sorta kinda, like, just I didn't even go to the gym. Like, I didn't do any of those things, and I got to looking in the mirror, and I said to myself, I was like, "Where did you get a neck fat from? Like, where'd you get that from?" And this is where I had to have an uncomfortable conversation with myself. I looked at myself and I said, "Okay, no. What's happening? I'm not talking to family members. I'm doing this all by myself." But people said they were gonna be there to handle it with you or to go through it with you, and child, no. It was on my shoulders, all of it. The funds, the time, the energy, the tears, the stress. It was on my shoulders, but I wasn't good. I wasn't good, but I said I was good. I wasn't. And as I think about it, it's just it's mind-blowing. And I think about a lot of things, and this one might step on somebody's toes because it stepped on mine. And I said to myself, "Have I taught people not to take care of me? Is that what I taught people?" Because it's easy for me to say, "Nobody ever asks what I need. Nobody helps me. I've always had to do everything." But then I had to look at myself. How many times has somebody offered to help me and I said, "No, I'm good." Ooh-wee. Pap, pap, slap you in the face. Imma say it again. How many times has somebody offered to help me and I've said, "No, I'm good"? You need to ask yourself that question. How many times has somebody offered to help you and you said, "No, I'm good"? How many times have you thought to yourself, and I'm talking to me too, but how many times have I thought to myself, "It's easier if I just do it myself." But is it? Hell no. I'm tired. I am tired, and I know you're tired. How many times have I been overwhelmed and never actually told anybody I was overwhelmed? All the time. All the time. All the time. And then got irritated because nobody noticed that I was overwhelmed. Here I am stomping around at my big age being mad because don't nobody know that I'm overwhelmed. Hell, how they gonna know if I ain't saying nothing? Then I get my butt in the bed and I'm crying myself to sleep because I'm overwhelmed, but then I don't end up going to sleep because I'm scrolling on social media, knowing I gotta get up for the next day. Come on now, like, because apparently everybody around us was supposed to be some type of mind reader. There's accountability in this too. Like, I can't expect somebody to meet a need that I refuse to communicate about. And maybe everybody around me didn't decide that I didn't need care. Maybe I spent years convincing people that I don't. Oh, I got it. Don't worry about me. I'll figure it out. It's fine. Eventually, people believe you. And I think sometimes independence becomes an armor. Like, put on this big old shield and put the dragon behind you and the knight and whatever. Because when you're used to depending on yourself, depending on somebody else can feel very scary, though, honestly. Because your head will be like, if I do it myself, I know it'll get done. And if I depend on myself, I can't disappoint myself. But there's a cost to living like that. Like, come on, be for real. Because eventually you're saying, why am I doing everything by myself? While simultaneously refusing to let anybody else help you. You in your own way. So then I asked myself another question. What does being taken care of actually mean to me? And when I say take care of me, I'm not talking about financially. Like, people get stuck on this money situation. Oh, you need to take care of me. Ain't nobody talking about no money. I'm talking about emotional care, mental care, spiritual care. Like, can you can you help me through my emotions? Right? Are you helping me to not have a mental breakdown because of my emotions? Spiritually, like, are you praying for me? Do you know how to help me understand what's happening in my life through the word of God? If you read your Bible or if you even know God, like whatever that looks like for you. Practical care, like you see me limping. Hey, what's wrong? I broke a nail. That stuff hurt. Trust me. I need care. Even going to the doctor, like, hey, did you go to the doctor? You take your vitamins, whatever. And sometimes being taken care of sounds like, have you eaten today? Sometimes it's, hey, I'll handle dinner tonight. Don't you worry about it. Sometimes it's somebody remembering something you told them 3 weeks ago. Girl, I remember you told me that you like tacos on Friday night. I brought you tacos. Sometimes it's just, you seem overwhelmed. What can I take off your plate? To hear those words from people, you may burst into tears, honestly, because I did. Sometimes it's someone praying for you, and when I tell you prayer warriors, girl, you need some of them. And sometimes it's being able to say out loud, "Oh, today was hard," without somebody immediately trying to fix you. Girl, well, what happened? Maybe it's because of this, maybe it's because of that. No. Pause for a second. Hear me, let me vent, because sometimes I don't need advice. I just need somewhere safe to land because I've been on this bumpy roller coaster. Mind you, I don't like roller coasters because I got a weak stomach, but it's been bumpy and I feel like I need to throw up. I need somewhere safe to land. And I think that's the part we miss. Strong women and men need somewhere safe to land. So let me ask you, what does being taken care of look like to you? Not what Instagram says, not what your partner thinks it should mean, not what your family thinks. What makes you feel considered? What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel like somebody sees you? And here's the harder question. Have you ever actually told the people you love what that looks like? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. I must say, this season of my life, I've been thinking a lot about receiving because I know how to give. Oh, I can give time, advice, energy, support, love, encouragement, money, gifts, whatever needs to be done, I'm there. But receiving, that's different. Somebody says, let me do that for you. And before they're even finished with the sentence, no, I'm good. Why are we like this? And I realized something. Receiving requires you being vulnerable. Because when I let somebody help me, I'm admitting I don't have to know everything and I don't have to control everything. I don't have to do everything. And yes, sometimes somebody might do it differently than what you did it. That's okay. It's okay. It got done. Maybe the next level of my growth isn't learning how to do more. Maybe it's learning how to let somebody do something for me. That that hit me. Because growth isn't always about adding something. Sometimes growth is putting something down. Like put it down. Girl, ain't your back tired? Don't your thighs hurt? Your legs hurting from trying to lift all of that? So if you're listening to me right now and you're the woman everybody calls, I want to talk to you directly. The mother, the grandmother, the manager, the friend, the girlfriend, the wife, the daughter, the sister, the woman who seems to always know what needs to happen next. Listen to me. You're allowed to get tired. You're allowed to say, I don't have the capacity for that today. And you're allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to let somebody else figure it out. You're allowed to rest before everything is finished. Girl, lay down. Even though it took you 20, even though it's going to take you like 26 seconds to fold up those clothes, put them clothes down, lay down. You're allowed to need somebody. And hear me on this. Being needed by everybody is not the same thing as being loved well. Value isn't measured by how much you can carry without complaining. You don't have to earn love by exhausting yourself. You don't have to prove your strength every single day. You've already proven you're strong. Maybe now it's the time to experience what it feels like to be supported. So I'm going to leave you with this. And it's the same question that we started with. Who takes care of the woman who takes care of everybody? And if you're a man, who takes care of the man who takes care of everybody? And maybe your immediate answer is nobody. But before you stop there, I want you to ask yourself 3 more questions. Have I communicated what I need? Have I created a relationship where I feel safe enough to need something? And when somebody does try to take care of me, do I actually let them? Because maybe this season isn't about becoming stronger. Maybe you've already proven how strong you are. Maybe this season is about learning that you don't have to carry everything just because you're capable of carrying. So I want to give you a challenge. Let somebody show up for you. And when they do, don't apologize. Don't immediately try to repay them. Don't take over halfway because they're doing it exactly how you would do it, or they're not doing it the way that you would do it. Like, get out of the way. Just receive it and remind yourself, I deserve relationships where I don't always have to be the strong one. And if nobody told you lately, I'm telling you, take care of yourself too. Not after everybody else is okay. Not when everything on the list is finished. Not when you finally have time. Because you matter now. This is Steph's Signature Corner, where we keep it real, we keep growing, and we keep becoming. Real talk, real growth, real purpose. I'll talk to you next time. And remember, take care of the woman who takes care of everybody, especially when that woman is you.